Hello and welcome. I'm Exit Light and this is my channel. Today I'm giving away my channel to a subscriber who left a story with me to narrate for you. This is from Mrmnomad, also known as Mark, and I'm going to narrate this story for you, but keep in mind that this is his story. So, if you want to leave a comment below, please leave the comment to him. I would appreciate that. I know he'd appreciate that. And I just want to tell you, Mark, that I appreciate you. And thank you for sending this in. All right, are we ready, guys? Let's go. So, Mark writes, Excellent. First, I wanted to relay a story to you that happened about 6 years ago because, coincidentally, today someone upvoted my comment I left describing what I saw the day after it happened. And also, last night I was watching a video left on Secure Team 10's page, and there it was. Not similar, exact, but several of them that the photographer said he could only see through an infrared lens on his camera. I saw this, quote, thing at night with my own eyes. I was sitting by a fire with my daughter's mother, who had come by to visit. We were having a few drinks and laughing about old times together, and I got up to tend the fire. I stepped around, and I don't know what this means, or if it's a misspelling, or if I do not know what this word means, but it says a copse of pine trees. There was a huge, round orb, radiating reddish, orange, yellow light. And what's more, it was dripping smaller, reddish orbs that appeared to free fall for a moment, then get their bearings and fly away in all different directions. I waved her quickly over to see what I was looking at, and she did not say a word. That's a paranormal occurrence in itself. If you have ever seen a spider sac hatch, that was similar to the motion, but also it looked like lava dripping from the large orb. After about 15 to 20 seconds, it was just gone, like it dropped its payload and moved on, behind a cloud and turned off the lights. Gone. Serendipity. I had been meaning to share this sighting with the Exit Light gang, and oddly, I got a like on my original comment from years ago. And for the first time last night, I saw a video of exactly what I saw. The video was taken at Long Beach, and it showed several of these things. Boy, I'd love to see that. I think I'm going to try and go look it up. Was it pretty? I mean, I know it seemed weird at the time, but was it also a pretty thing to see? All right. Mrmnomad goes on to tell us another story. Okay, this one has a lot of layers. I hope you can follow along, which, by the way, is directed at me. And if you ask Rob, he's probably going to tell you, it's iffy. About 20 years ago, I got a Ouija board. I forgot if I bought it or if it was gifted. And one night in my apartment, I got it out to mess around with. My cab had dropped me off after the bar, but I wasn't ready to call it a night. I summoned Bill Hickok. Since I was alone, I would know if it's on the level, right? Anyways, the planchette began to move and respond. I remember I asked, why was everyone afraid of you? And it spelled, quote, balls. After some more back and forth, another presence made itself known. Mal, M-A-L, which happens to be bad in Spanish, also is the Latin root word for evil. Many years later, 6 or 7, I had bought a home and was in my backyard having a drink. I finished my shot, set the glass down upside down on the glass tabletop, and perchance I rested 2 fingers on the glass and it began to move. WTF. I removed my fingers quickly and it still moved, linear, at a slower pace. I thought it must be the wet of the glass on glass that is causing this. So I dried the tabletop, got a marker, and wrote out the alphabet and yes and no on the tabletop. After a few moments, it spelled Eileen Warnos. So, who the heck is she? Well, I know now. I offered a prayer for her soul and should have left it at that. But I couldn't resist trying to figure this out. I got one word response. M-A-L. A couple of years later, my beloved mother became ill from cancer. My daughter and I flew to San Antonio to be with her and my dad. We were there for about 2 weeks to help her with the transition. I took my daughter to the Alamo just to get some air, and we had dinner along the Riverwalk. Before we went inside the mission, we walked around the grounds. We were actually across the street near where the 18-pounder would have been, and I saw a small rock semi-protruding from the soil. It caught my eye because it had right angles and was uniform dark brown color. I looked it over and I put it in my pocket. When we flew back home, already despondent over my mother's passing, a series of setbacks began to occur. It seemed like nothing was going right. Then one night, I watched a show about a ghost town called Bodie, and how visitors who had picked up nails, shell casings, etc., experienced bad luck. So just on a hunch, my daughter and I went to our local church and asked the Father if we could light a candle, and if he could give us a blessing. We did. He did. Life goes on, sometimes for the better, occasionally for the worse. Thank you so much, Mark, Mr. Mrmnomad. I know that for a time your life did get worse, and I appreciate you telling us a story that has your daughter in it. If you guys want to leave comments, like I said, please leave them below to Mark, and have a good night.